How did I, this wondrously amazing creature, become a thing? Now, although I may be beautiful in my thought and my wisdom, I am not made by aliens. I was made just like you and your mom and your father and soon your children and then your grandchildren and then your dead body. It comes from a term known as meiosis, and it is not some fairy tale abstract thingamajig, but instead it is a thingamajig, but for scientific stuff. So let's dive into the world of reproduction, and I will not use the S word, the S-E-N, the S-N-X word, okay? I won't be doing that because I don't want to get the giggles out. Now, meiosis. What is meiosis? Now you might be like, oh, okay, Andrew. Meiosis is when the cell splits. No. Shh. That's mitosis. Meiosis is completely different. Instead of having a cell break up in two, you have a human being break up in two. Kinda. Now, what you just heard, the word egg, you might be like, egg? What do they mean by egg? This? No. I know it's nearly Easter, but no. That's not what I mean. That's not the type of egg I'm talking about. The type of egg I'm talking about is a single cell inside your mother's womb, which then breaks up into 2, then 4, and then 8, and then death. That's how you are created. But now, you might be asking, how is all this stuff possible? How is a sperm able to go, like psychopath and do all of that mixing together? Now, you might be like, okay, it's simple. They just found each other. How was it created? Yes, that's the biggest question. How was it created? Yeah. Okay? Now, if you don't know, mitosis will be part of this. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail on how all of this stuff even happened because, it's boring to learn about that stuff because, it's just that. But what I can tell you is that sperm is created by men. Now, men's sex chromosomes, aka the ones that don't actually mix together, always stays the same. So the men's is always shriveled, and that's why they only create sperm cells. But a female sex cell will basically work like it's just gonna be normal, okay? Perfectly normal. Nothing too severe, and nothing to check the weather report about. And don't worry. Nothing. The Taliban is not coming. Just a bunch of complicated stuff that's gonna blow your mind, okay? What happens is the female sex chromosome will basically be a little X, and it goes and splits apart. A bunch of them just go. It is pulled by these little things, which then pulls it into a little ball called a nucleus, which is the Kim Jong-un of a cell, because it's a dictator, literally, and also a god. Now, with all of that working out correctly, what happens is, now that there are 2 nucleuses, you can't have 2 Kim Jong-uns in one country. That's just not going to work, because one of them is going to be saying, I'm Kim Jong-un, and the other is going to be saying, I'm Kim Jong-un. So naturally, the countries split apart, like Korea into North and South Korea. I don't know why I'm giving all these dictatorial and imperialist ideas when it comes to all that stuff. Now, I'd like to tell you all something. With all of this done, you might be like, okay, now it's like that. Oh, hold up. The two nucleuses split apart, which then splits up, and boom, 4 cells. Now these 4 cells, 2 of them will be specifically for male, and 2 of them will be for female. So yes, that's just how it works. But one of them is a bit bigger than the rest. Now, if you have a bigger nation, and that means you're superior to literally everybody else. A quote from Kim Jong-un. Okay? Now, with that fixed up, let me tell you something. That larger one, because it's superior, basically looks at all the other ones and just squishes them. Now, these other cells are still there. If you're an adult and you already had a kid, first of all, good luck. And second of all, you still have those 3 cells, those 3 puny cells stuck in your body. It kind of doesn't do anything. That's just how it works for animals. For plants, it has a job, but worse. In plants, they basically just stick needles into it and suck out all the nutrients of them to feed the actual good ones. So at least we don't have a Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler in animal cells. We just have a Kim Jong-un. I mean, I know that the difference isn't that clear because Kim Jong-un has a concentration camp and Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler have concentration camps. But yes, that's just basically how you can think of it. Now, after all of that works, something remarkable happens. When all those 3 other dumb, stupid ones are gone, you know what happens? The larger one starts to have male sex chromosomes, the sperm cells, to connect with it. And it starts fertilizing the egg. And it splits in 2. And it splits again. And it splits and splits and splits. Until it has something with 2 arms, 2 legs, a big ass body, and also a face that can move and talk. And the entire body can move and talk. Now, and that is the story. And no, I am not lying about how we all come from a single cell. Now that is beautiful, but the growth as an actual human being is actually a bit more complicated. So I'll be talking about that in my next video. But, you see, what did we learn from this lesson? What we learned is that we all come from one cell. Mitosis is different from meiosis, but mitosis is important for meiosis, but meiosis is not important for mitosis, and all of that pieces of crap that you don't want to learn. And all of that's pretty boring, okay? You're probably yawning right now. But at least you know, if you're a woman, if you are taking care for a child, you know that it's more complicated to actually have a child than to raise a child. So yes, be happy.